Imagine living in a world where you are told that women are not allowed to be scientists. Imagine being so poor that you can only afford to eat one apple a day and a few pieces of bread. Imagine studying in a freezing cold attic in Paris, using a candle for light. This was the life of Marie Curie. But Marie had a secret fire inside her that was stronger than hunger or cold. Marie Curie was not just a researcher. She was a pioneer who walked into a territory where no human had ever gone before. Marie Curie found a way to look inside the very heart of matter. She discovered a power that was so strong it could glow in the dark without any batteries. She didn't just discover a new element. She discovered the atomic age. This is the story of a woman who won 2 Nobel Prizes and changed medicine forever, all while holding a substance in her pocket that was slowly killing her. She didn't build an empire of money. She built an empire of knowledge that saved millions of lives. Marie was born in Poland, a country that was being controlled by Russia at the time. It was illegal for girls to go to university. But Marie and her sister joined a flying university, a secret school that moved from house to house at night to hide from the police. She worked for years as a governess, saving every penny so she could move to Paris and study at the Sorbonne. When she finally got there, she was so focused on her work that she often fainted from not eating. They didn't want a fancy life, they just wanted a lab. Their first laboratory was an old, leaky wooden shed that used to be a medical dissecting room. It was hot in the summer and freezing in the winter. But in that shed, Marie began to notice something strange about a rock called pitchblende. It was giving off rays of energy that were more powerful than anything seen before. She called this radioactivity. She was about to change the periodic table and the world. For 4 long years, Marie and Pierre worked like slaves in that shed. They boiled giant pots of heavy rocks, stirring them with iron rods until their arms ached. They were trying to find a tiny, invisible treasure hidden inside tons of dirt. Finally, they found it. 2 new elements called polonium and radium. Radium was amazing. It glowed with a beautiful blue light in the dark. It was the most valuable substance on Earth. A single gram of it was worth a fortune. Businessmen from all over the world rushed to Marie's shed. They offered her millions of dollars to tell them exactly how she refined it so they could build factories and make a profit. This is where Marie Curie showed her true wealth secret, but it wasn't about money. Marie and Pierre sat down and made a decision that shocked the business world. They decided to give the secret away for free. They didn't patent their discovery. If they had patented it, Marie Curie would have been the richest woman in the world, wealthier than the kings of Europe. But she believed that science was a gift for humanity, not a tool for greed. Because she gave the secret away, hospitals all over the world could start using radium to treat cancer immediately. She chose the wealth of human progress over the wealth of gold. She proved that sometimes the greatest way to own something is to give it to everyone. In 1906, tragedy struck. Pierre Curie was killed in a street accident, leaving Marie alone with 2 young daughters. The world thought she would stop her work, but Marie became even more determined. When World War I broke out, she saw thousands of soldiers dying because doctors couldn't find the bullets or broken bones inside their bodies. X-ray machines existed, but they were only in big city hospitals. Marie had another brilliant idea. She didn't wait for the government, she took action. She asked rich people for their cars, and she turned them into mobile X-ray stations. These cars became known as Little Curies. Marie herself learned how to drive and how to fix the engines. She drove her Little Curies right to the front lines of the war, often under fire. She trained 150 women to run these machines. Because of her, over 1 million soldiers were saved from unnecessary amputations or death. She didn't just stay in a lab. She used her science to save lives on the battlefield. She was a hero in a white lab coat. She never asked for money for her service. She even tried to donate her gold Nobel Prize medals to the war effort. She showed the world that a scientist's true job is to protect life, no matter the cost to themselves. After the war, Marie Curie did something that no one man or woman had ever done before. She won a second Nobel Prize in a different field of science. She had already won for physics, and now she won for chemistry. She proved once and for all that her mind was one of the greatest in human history. But while she was becoming a legend, the world was not always kind to her. Because she was a woman and a widow, people started spreading rumors about her personal life. They tried to tell her she shouldn't go to Sweden to collect her prize because of the gossip. Marie's response was a wealth secret of character. She told them, "My scientific work is separate from my private life." She went anyway, standing tall and proud. She used her fame to build the Radium Institute in Paris and another in her hometown in Poland. These weren't just labs. They were the world's first specialized centers to fight cancer. She traveled to America, where the women of the United States raised enough money to buy her 1 single gram of radium to continue her research. She was the most famous woman in the world, yet she still lived a simple life, wearing the same black dress every day. She didn't want the spotlight. She wanted the cure. She was teaching the world that true power doesn't come from what you own, but from what you contribute. For years, Marie Curie carried tubes of radium in her pockets. She loved the way they glowed like faint fairy lights. She even kept a piece of it on her nightstand to watch it glow as she fell asleep. Back then, no one knew that radioactivity was dangerous. People were so excited about her discovery that they started putting radium in everything: toothpaste, face creams, even drinking water. They thought it was a miracle that would make them live forever. But Marie began to notice that her fingers were burned and her body was always tired. She was literally giving her life to her research. The very element she discovered was slowly breaking down the cells in her body. Even as she grew weaker and lost her sight, she never stopped working. She was the mother of the atomic age, but she was also its first victim. In 1934, she passed away from a disease caused by long-term exposure to radiation. She had spent 35 years breathing in the rays of her beloved radium. She died as she lived brave, quiet, and completely dedicated to the truth. She didn't fear the glow. She embraced it, knowing that it would eventually lead to the light of knowledge for everyone else. Marie Curie's legacy is so powerful that it is actually dangerous. Even today, nearly 100 years after her death, her personal belongings, her furniture, her cookbooks, and especially her laboratory notebooks are still radioactive. They are kept in lead-lined boxes at the National Library of France. If you want to see them, you have to wear a special protective suit and sign a paper saying you know the risk. Her clothes and her body are still giving off the same energy she discovered in that old wooden shed. She is literally immortal through her science. Marie Curie's wealth secret was eternal impact. She didn't build a bank account. She built a future where cancer could be treated and the power of the atom could be harnessed. Her daughter, Irene, also went on to win a Nobel Prize, making them the most successful family in the history of science. Marie showed us that no wall is too high and no cold is too bitter if you have a goal. She proved that the heart of a woman is just as strong as the heart of an atom. If you want to be successful, don't look for the easy path. Look for the glow in the dark and follow it, no matter where it leads. If you think it is amazing how a woman sacrificed her life to find a cure for others, wait until you see how the next inventor used a moldy dish to find a secret weapon that has saved more lives than any army in history. Click the next video to see the secret of Alexander Fleming and the discovery of penicillin.